Now, Pakistan armed forces launched multiple attacks using drones and other munitions along India's western border on the intervening night of 8th and 9th May 2025. Indian Army shared a video and said Pakistani troops also resorted to numerous ceasefire violations along the line of control in Jammu and Kashmir. The drone attacks were effectively repulsed and a befitting reply was given to these ceasefire violations. Indian Army remains committed to safeguarding the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the nation. It was further said all nefarious designs will be responded with force. Notably, Indian Defence Forces successfully neutralized missile and drone attacks by Pakistan targeting key areas in Jammu, Satwari, Samba, Arispura and Arnia. According to defence sources, the attack was repelled with 0 casualties, showcasing India's robust defence preparedness and real-time operational readiness. The Border Security Force successfully foiled a major infiltration attempt along the international border in Jammu and Kashmir Samba district. The incident occurred in the intervening night of 8th and 9th of May 2025. An infiltration attempt by a big group of terrorists has been tried, which was detected by surveillance grid. At least 7 terrorists have been killed, caused extensive damage to Pakistan's post Dhandar. Now, in the wake of Operation Sindoor, Pakistan attempted to escalate tensions by launching missile strikes at Indian military installations. Every single one of those missiles was intercepted or neutralized. None reached its intended target. So, India's rapid coordinated response showcased the strength of its air defense ecosystem. The air defense system has been built over the past 11 years under Prime Minister Modi's leadership. Integrated counter unmanned aerial system grid proved itself. Barak missiles, Akash, SAM, DRDO's anti-drone technology from aerial shield were on display. India destroyed Chinese-supplied HQ-9 air defense units in Lahore. India also damaged key radar infrastructure. Further, 35,000 crore deal for 5 S-400 Triumph squadrons was signed in 2018. So, 3 squadrons now operational along the China and Pakistan borders. Barak SAM was given to us in 2017 for a $2.5 billion deal with Israel. Indigenous Akash and DRDO developed counter-drone systems also were deployed. Man-portable counter-drone systems to jam and disable hostile UAVs installed in 2024. So, Operation Sindoor marked the combat debut of these loitering munitions. These loitering munitions or suicidal drones ordered in 2021 are made in India. These suicidal drones took Pakistan's defenses by complete surprise. Israeli origin Harop drones destroyed air defense assets in Karachi and Lahore. The Harop drones are now locally built. And now let's go over to Lakshay Arya, our correspondent joining me from Jaisalmer. Lakshay, what are the precautionary measures being taken by the Border Security Force and the Western Command given the heightened security scenario?
Absolutely, Tanvi. Right to the high security and red alert has been issued yesterday in the Jaisalmer and the Badmer. But right today, the situation is quite normal. The blackout is the instruction for the blackout will continue even today as well. Yesterday, the instruction for blackout were issued for the 9 to the 4 in the morning. Later, the timing increased by 2 hours. So the blackout was there in the Jaisalmer, in the Badmer from the 9 in the night to the 6 in the morning. the local administration is taking all precautionary measures. They are issuing the advisory to the local people, to the villagers, to the local residents that do not trust any misleading videos, any misleading news. They are relating and continuously issuing the advisory that to only trust the news and the post and the videos that has been issued from a verified source. Do not trust any post, any videos or any images from the unverified source. Apart from that, CM Bhajanlal Sharma had a high-level meeting in the Jaipur in which he instructed that no government employee will be issued any leave during the critical scenario. The government employees who are on the leave have been asked to report to the district headquarters. Apart from that, 9 additional RS, the Rajasthan Administrative Services officers, has been deployed in the border districts of the Jaisalmer and the Bardmer. Yesterday, the high alert was issued in the Jaisalmer and Bardmer, but currently the situations are quite normal. The Western Command has been taking the charge. The compact patrolling is managed across the borders. Apart from that, the educational institutions in the border area has been shut down, whether it's a government, whether it's a private, whether it's a school or the colleges. All the government and the non-government institution, educational institution, has been asked to shut down till the further notice. Apart from that, the local administration is cooperating with the people, and people have been advised to be in home and follow the latest.
So talking of people, Indian Defence Forces, like we have told our viewers, successfully neutralized missile and drone attacks by Pakistan last night. How have locals responded to all this? What's the situation what's the sentiment among people?
Absolutely. Yesterday in the night, when the blackout was issued, the blackout started across the Jaisalmer, across the Bardmer. People get in their home, turn off the light. But soon after that, around 9:10, 9:15, the drone attack started from the end of Pakistan, but with a well perform of the Western Command and the air defense system S-400. All of the drone attacks were neutralized, and none of the casualties, no damage has been caused to these areas. Yet in the morning, a suspicious item, bomb-like item, suspicious item found in an outskirt village of the Jaisalmer, where the QRT team and the army reached out, the police reached out, and the locals were advised to stay away from the site. The site has been sealed, but right now no such damage has been caused, and no such any hurry or any panic has been created in the village and in the district.
Okay, thank you very much, Lakshya Arya. So no untoward incident being reported from Jaisalmer. It has been a zero casualty report from there. Let me also go across to other correspondents joining me. I'm going to be joined by Gurmeet Singh now. Gurmeet joins us on the story from Jalandhar. So Gurmeet, you were telling me earlier that there are reports of 2 missile debris found from Bhatinda. What is the latest you have?
First of all, Tanvi, we want to let our viewers know that the latest that we are getting in is from the Pathankot Karoli village, where the debris has recently been found, and the police and the local administration, they are on the place, and they are right now recovering the debris that has been found. It is believed to be a Pakistani missile debris. And the second that we were discussing is about Bhatinda. In Bhatinda, yesterday night, about 45 minutes past 10, there were 4 blasts that were heard by the local people. And after that, when they went out and tried to search what happened actually, so they found debris of a missile, which is believed to be a Pakistani missile, and close to the size of a big drum. And it is found in the Bir Talab village of Bhatinda. And another village, Tungwali, which is also in Bhatinda, there also the debris, which is believed to be the debris of the Pakistani missile, has been found, and police and local administration and the security forces are there and analyzing the debris, what is it of actually, and the things are in place over there. And Also, Lal Singh Basti area, there are a lot of rumor mongering about Lal Singh Basti area in Bathinda, and the local administration has put out an advisory for the people who are spreading rumors about Lal Singh Basti area that there has been a missile attack. So clarification has come that there is no missile attack, nothing like that happened, and people should abstain from spreading rumors on social media regarding this area of Bathinda. In addition to this, I would like to discuss about Pathankot, where 5 blasts were heard by the people, and the inputs that we are getting in that in the one area, that is Jugyal area of Bathinda, 5 blasts were heard, and in Jandwal area a few other blasts were heard by the people, and today morning at 4:30 3 blasts were heard, and as per the input at 5 a.m. in the morning the people heard 2 blasts in Bathinda, in Pathankot area, and for the whole night there was blackout in Pathankot and also in Chandigarh, in Mohali, which is also known as SAS Nagar, and also in Patiala, Kapurthala, Amritsar, Gurdaspur. So all these areas the blackout was imposed, and the timings were different. Like in Amritsar the blackout was imposed at 9 p.m. in the evening, and it remained till 5 a.m. in the morning, and in Sangrur it was imposed at 11 p.m. in the night, and it remained till 5 a.m. in the morning.
Okay, very quickly.
In addition to this, we want to tell
very
our viewers
quickly,
that
Gurmeet, tell us about Chandigarh also. Sirens were sounded in Chandigarh again this morning after an air warning was received from the Air Force station. How has Chandigarh responded to the call?
Yes, Tanvi, air raid sirens were heard in Chandigarh by the people, which were given by the Air Force station in Chandigarh, and these were basically to avoid the aerial attack and to save the people, and an advisory has been issued to the locals of the Chandigarh that they should stay at their homes and should not come out, and the people were told that if they are planning to travel to somewhere, so they should not travel at this point in time, and people were advised to stay at home. And in addition to this, in Chandigarh there's Punjab University which has been closed till 11th of May, and there was a PUCET entrance test which was scheduled for 11th of May that has also been postponed. And also, if we talk about Amritsar, there is a GNDU University, Guru Nanak Dev University, which were the lot of exams were scheduled till 17th of May. They have also been postponed. And in addition to this, I want to discuss about Faridkot, where in Gugiana area the people heard blast last night, and after that the local administration has shut down the internet services which have been restored a short while back.
Okay, so multiple blasts being heard there in Faridkot, Pathankot, as Gurmeet is telling us. Thank you very much, Gurmeet Singh, for reporting on the story with multiple inputs from the entire Punjab area. All right, let's move on now. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh chaired a high-level meeting at the South Block, New Delhi, to review the security situation along the western border and operational preparedness of the Indian Armed Forces. Chief of Defence Staff General Anil Chauhan, Chief of the Army Staff General Upendra Dwivedi, Chief of the Naval Staff Admiral Dinesh K. Tripathi, Chief of the Air Staff Air Chief Marshal A.P. Singh, and Defence Secretary Rajesh Kumar Singh attended the meeting. Further, Home Minister Amit Shah is reviewing the current situation. The Home Minister has chaired key meeting in Delhi with DG Border Security Force, DG CISF Central Industrial Security Force, DG Bureau of Civil Aviation Security, Director of IB Intelligence Bureau, and Union Home Secretary has also attended. Another key meet will be held by the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. The Finance Minister will chair a review meeting this evening on the cyber security preparedness of banks and financial institutions. Now, Union Health Minister J.P. Nadda held a review meeting with senior officers of the ministry on health infrastructure and preparedness. The senior officials of the Health Ministry gave complete information about the hospitals and health facilities in the country. Complete monitoring is being done from the control center. So, emergency preparedness measures being taken in full force here. yesterday, a coordinated misinformation campaign was waged by Pakistani social media handles, certain social media handles in general, and mainstream media in particular in Pakistan had the sole objective to instill fear among the Indian masses. This psychological warfare has been actively debunked for the last few weeks. So the Press Information Bureau further debunked the claims of Pakistani social media handles, saying that a Sukhoi Su-30 Make 1 was shot down in Muzaffarabad, capturing an Indian pilot alive. This image of Sukhoi Su-30 Make 1 of the Indian Air Force being crashed is from Maharashtra, dated October 14th, 2014. So this is Press Information Bureau debunking the fake news, and it has asked people to, see only verified handles for authentic source of information. It has also launched a campaign, India Fights Propaganda, and has asked everyone not to fall prey to deliberate misinformation. So as per the PIB fact check, another image being circulated is an old one, completely unrelated to the Jammu Air Force Base, and is in fact from the Kabul airport blast in August 2021. PIB has cautioned people not to fall to misinformation. The PIB's fact check unit also refuted a false claim of an attack on Gujarat's Hazira port by Pakistan. It has been clarified that it was an unrelated video confirmed to depict an oil tanker explosion. The video was dated from July 7th, 2021. Again, it was urged not to share this video. Another fake video of a drone strike from Jalandhar is being widely circulating on social media. This is an unrelated video of a farm fire. The video has the time 7:39 p.m. while the drone attack began later. So again, a false video there. Another false video shared by Pakistani social media, in which a heavy multiple launch rocket systems barrage is being falsely shared as a real Pakistani attack on India. This video is actually from a video game and has been online for over 3 years. It has no connection to the current India-Pakistan situation. So Ministry of Information and Broadcasting has launched #India Fights Propaganda campaign across social media platforms in order to support and amplify this campaign. Everyone is requested to put up this as the profile picture on all official social media accounts of respective departments, media units. Let's not fall prey to fake news. Okay, very quickly, let me go to Akshay Dongre, my colleague joining us from the newsroom. Akshay, a lot of activity has happened since last 2 days. Now, 7 suspected Jaish terrorists have reportedly been killed in Jammu by India's border security force. Do we have any details about this incident?
Well, the information that we have as far as Jaish infiltration is concerned is that it was thwarted by the border security force that was actively, waiting there, was on high alert, because this has been the modus operandi of Pakistan, especially the Pakistani Rangers who try and launch, do some kind of ceasefire violation, and while the other forces and troops are mobilized to counter that ceasefire violation, they slip in their infiltrators and terrorists from the other entry points, and that is what the BSF was aware of, and perhaps that's the reason why the infiltration was thwarted even before it could properly begin. And 7 Jaish terrorists, according to sources, have been neutralized on the international borders as well. So clearly what we are seeing right now is, on one hand, the army is launching attacks on civilians, attacking schools, places of worship, religious monuments, civilian areas, crowded areas, densely populated locations, the military establishments of India. The ISPR, or the communication wing of Pakistan, is doing a full-fledged propaganda war across the social media and other platforms as well. While this is happening, another front has been opened by Pakistan by trying to infiltrate these terrorists and radicals into the common population, so that they can carry out their own terrorist attacks inside the state of Jammu and Kashmir, as well as in other parts of the country as well. So we have hit, this is one thing for sure, we have hit the heartland of Jaish-e-Mohammed, Lashkar-e-Taiba, and all of the dreaded terror outfits that are operating and have been acting against India. And that perhaps is the reason why the top dreaded terrorists of Pakistan are so rattled that they are trying to slip, they are trying to find any opportunity to slip in their infiltrators, and people will have to be aware of that, and that's why the government of India has also issued advisories that
yes, I'll come back to you, Akshay, on the advisories.
Any kind of live coverage of these events.
Yes, I'll come back to you on that. A crucial meeting of the International Monetary Fund will take place in Washington today. Ahead of the crucial IMF meeting, India on Thursday hinted that it could communicate its view to the global financial body on its bailout package for Pakistan. Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri said India's executive director at the IMF will put forward the country's position during the meeting of the board of the global body on Friday.
We have an executive director at the IMF. Tomorrow there is a meeting of the board of the IMF, and I'm sure that our executive director will put forward India's position. The decisions of the board are a different matter. You know the process through which they are made. But I think the case with regard to Pakistan should be self-evident to those people who generously open their pockets to bail out this country. And since you are from Bloomberg, I think you would have the data on how many IMF bailout programs have been very good, thank you, have been sanctioned in the space of the last 3 decades. And I think you would also have an idea of how many of those programs have actually reached successful conclusion. Probably not many. So I think this is a decision that board members have to take by looking deep within themselves and looking at the facts.
The IMF Executive Board is scheduled to meet Pakistan officials today for the first review of the extended funding facility. Pakistan has received several bailout packages from the IMF over the past 10 years. I'm now joined by defense expert, Major General retired Dr. Bipin Bakshi. I'm also joined by Shubhamoy Bhattacharjee, senior economic journalist. Welcome both of you, sir, to the show. Let me come to Dr. Bakshi first. Dr. Bakshi, what do you make of our robust air defense systems? They have successfully foiled the Pakistan's aerial strikes, acting as a kind of iron dome. Would it be fair to say that India's air defense systems are now one of the best in the world?
Yes, definitely. Thank you very much, Tanvi, for having me on the show, and very good afternoon to everyone. You have drawn reference to Iron Dome, which actually was made by Israel. Very recently, the Israel ambassador to India, just 2 days back, has expressed his full solidarity with India in a recent function at Manekshaw Center. It would not be correct to compare India's air defense with Israel's Iron Dome. They are a very, very small country. They are facing a very different kind of threat. But yes, we have a multi-layered joint air defense. Repeatedly in the beginning of this program, you have been saying that we have set up our air defense in the last 11 years. Yes, it has been accelerated in the last 11 years, but we have been building it since independence. In fact, since even before independence. So we have today a very strong air defense posture in place. It is very heartening to see that the air defense component of both the Air Force and the Army has received a tremendous boost in the recent years, especially after the drone warfare has come to the fore. Otherwise, till the time an enemy aircraft crosses into Indian airspace, we would not activate our air defense. Not now today, the air defense is active even against their drones and against their missiles, so which is a very, very heartening thing to see.
Okay. Shubhamoy, India will put forward its position on the bailout package to Pakistan during the meeting of the IMF board today. What is likely to happen, in your view?
Well, the Foreign Secretary made it very clear that what India thinks about the bailout package, and any decision now to sort of, give the go-ahead will be something that will be really frowned upon by India. And India has a very significant position in the IMF. So I suspect what is going to happen is that the IMF will sort of, defer the decision and sort of, look for more clarity in the days and things in the weeks to come ahead. I don't expect under any circumstances the IMF to actually approve sort of, even though of course there'll be a lot of social media from other sides saying that yes, IMF has gone ahead, but IMF, I'm sure, will actually take a very calibrated view to think through the things.
Okay,
that seems very likely today, especially that our executive director, Mr. Dr. Parmeshwaran Iyer, will be making the position very forcefully. Yes.
Okay. Dr. Bipin, India's Akash surface-to-air missile has again proved extremely effective in foiling Pakistan's aerial strike. Could you elaborate more on our indigenously built air defense systems?
Yes, we have also developed the indigenous MR-SAM. We have been working tremendously in this direction, and slowly we are indigenizing all our equipment and also our ammunition. But I would like to draw today some reference to what was briefed today by in this particular briefing which you're looking at. Repeatedly, the Army spokesperson, Colonel Qureshi, and the Air Force Wing Commander Vyomika, as well as our Foreign Secretary, mentioned that we have been non-escalatory in nature. But it is up to the Pakistan military to respect this non-escalation. If I could mention that they started the first round by the attack on innocent civilians. Then our retaliation was purely on the terrorist infrastructure. We did not hit the military and we did not hit any civilians. Next round, they tried to attack our military installations, basically the air bases, and also they opened up the shelling on our civilian areas. Now, we had to respond. We have responded only on certain military infrastructure. We have taken out the radars at Lahore and Rawalpindi. We have not hit any civilian targets. Whereas they are opening up and they are trying to escalate. We do not want to escalate this conflict. It has been made clear repeatedly. So we have to discuss a bit about this.
Yes.
The escalation and the control of the escalation.
Yes, escalation, control of the escalation, and Pakistan's denial. Well, Pakistan again has denied that it hasn't conducted any strike. In fact, it is also pertinent to discuss here that this modus operandi is more of that of a terrorist organization, and our assessments, our intelligence assessments also say that they are operating in a Hamas style combat here.
Yeah, in fact, there have been experts who have classified the Pakistan military as a terrorist organization. You can hear Christine Fair, and she has been repeatedly mentioning aspects like this. Even today, the Foreign Secretary was asked as to how it is there's so much of fake news. Even the Defense Minister is saying that we have shot down 5 Indian aircraft. How is it that their government officers are giving out fake news? And it was clarified that right from 1947, when in the garb of Kapalias, the Pakistan army entered Kashmir, the Pakistan government has been used to lying. So they lied to the UN that there is no Pak army which has entered Kashmir, which is actually not a fact. So we have to read between the lines and we have to know the kind of foe we are dealing with.
Okay. Okay, Shubhamai, what would you say about a virtually bankrupt nation, Pakistan, with perilously low foreign exchange reserves, a balance of payments crisis, high inflation, that uses its scarce resources to foster terror and launch unprovoked but abortive military strikes in India, and then goes to the IMF begging for loans? Shubham, I request you to unmute.
Yeah. So if you look at, I'm quoting from World Bank data. The World Bank data shows Pakistan is one of the world's highest spender of its GDP on defense. Now, this is an astonishing figure. They spend 2.8% of their GDP on defense. To take into account, India spends with a 2.4. The average across the world is 1.5 to 1.4. It's only rogue countries which cross come near to spending something like 3%. So what's happening? As you rightly say, that there are countries that Pakistan doesn't have the money and it uses the GDP to spend. I mean, it uses that money to, and then is using that, and then it's going with. I mean, asking the IMF for repeated bailouts. It has had 11 bailouts so far, and many of the bailouts are running concurrently because they have not been able to pay back the loans. So it's a country which is actually using borrowed ammunition, it's borrowing money to just simply run a terror camp. I mean, this is an absurd sort of a situation which their economy is in, and it's going to be very extremely costly for them this time around, because now they really need that money to be able to hand it around. And remember, the US government is not very pleased with what's happening there. So the IMF loan is not getting extended, at least for the time being. So that puts the country in a very difficult. I really think they should really realize, somebody should be telling it to them, that how deep financial mess they are.
Okay. General Bakshi, US Secretary of State Marco Rubio asked Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif to end the violence and take concrete steps to end support for terrorist organizations. But is Shehbaz Sharif even in control?
We always have this dilemma when we are dealing with Pakistan as to whom are you talking to. They have been having this issue of the military running the policy from behind the scenes for very long. So we have to look at the larger picture. It is not a one-day game. It is not going to be over in a few days or a few weeks. But the question coming to all the citizens' mind is, will this war come to the deeper cities? I would like to, through your channel, assure everybody, our higher leadership, our military and civilian leadership is taking all the steps to control things. And even if it escalates, we have our protection systems well in place. And we should trust our military and always support our military. At the same time, we need to build ourselves up. What has been seen in the recent past, deterrence has failed in many parts of the globe. The concept of all armed conflict being very short and swift has been overturned. We are looking at long-drawn conflicts. You need a large war stamina of the nation, your logistics, your ammunition, your entire supply chains to be secured and resilient. So in the longer run, we have to keep our powder dry. We have to keep strong supplies of that powder behind us. And we need to always be prepared for the unexpected.
Always be prepared for the unexpected. But, sir, a word here about Pakistan's, the radar systems at Lahore being destructed. How big a blow is this to Pakistan?
So, just as we have a chain of radars, they too have a chain of radars. Whenever we are taking steps, we are planning for the next escalation, whether it happens or it does not happen. So while in round one, we were only looking at the terrorist camps, the minute round two started, we have opened up a gap in their air defenses so that if round three, round four, which is yet to happen, if it happens, our weapon systems will be able to penetrate their defenses with greater ease. So yes, these two important radars having been taken down are significant. It is not that Pakistan cannot respond by replacing them with some other radar soon, but it will not have the same efficiency as the original. And once it opens up, we can take that down too. So once again, the issue is that we need to have a strong reserve of equipment. We need to keep on hitting them whenever they hit us. At the same time, we have de-escalation in mind, and it is up to the rest of the world also
to see,
and our own forces to make Pakistan realize that you have to de-escalate at a point.
Yes. Shubhamoy, Pakistan's stock market has been battered down for 4 days now and even saw its worst ever swing yesterday when it plunged over 8,400 points. Would you agree that this in itself is a huge vote of no confidence and a very serious warning to a crippled and staggering Pakistani economy?
Much more than the stock market. See, Pakistan's stock market isn't particularly a significant entity. And obviously, what had happened is that the moment that sort of a crisis, which they have brought on themselves, has happened, the major investors have immediately pulled their money out of the market. So I expect the market to, go down even further. You should be expecting even more crisis in terms of the rupee, their currency rupee, their Pakistani rupee to actually crash. It's already being pitched at a very low level. It is going to be in an even more worse position. And that is a very major problem that's coming down. Remember, they don't have reserves to buy anything from abroad. The foreign exchange reserves are just something like a couple of weeks' supply, just $20 billion, which is actually the official reserves. It's actually even lower. So by any indicators, the economy is in a perilously bad shape. And there's no comparison. So one shouldn't even try to use the usual metrics to try to understand what's happening in Pakistan. The short of it is that there's a highly overfunded army sitting out there in a very poor country. Trying to work out an agenda which suits no one there. And this is going to be extremely bitter for Pakistan. As you know, the Indus Water Treaty has been rescinded. So Pakistan faces a very major problem on its agriculture. 80% of its agriculture depends on the water from there. So on every standard, that country's finances, real economy, whatever you have it. And remember, the simple thing of just planes not flying over Pakistan is costing the country something like close to $75,000 per day.
$75,000 per day. That's
per
huge.
day.
Yes.
This is not chicken feed. This is very major amount of foreign exchange that they are not getting. So huge amount of financial crippling thing that they are pulling on themselves for no good reason. And frankly speaking, it is a different Pakistan altogether. They should not have been in this place here at all. I mean, this is something that is. This country isn't. Frankly, in terms of any metrics that you can look at, it's a very desperate condition.
Yes, a time will actually come when it will be completely bankrupt and no global agency will eventually bail it out. Do you see that scenario to come?
About a question of bailing out, if there's an economic activity happening, then you can bail it out. The point is that this economic activity is not there. Like, for instance, if you look at it, there are a lot of people, for instance, don't know that the entire Pakistan's power sector runs on coal and oil, and all of that is imported. Now, how do you run that with foreign exchange reserves basically zero? So you are in it's a country with just no fallback option on anything. There's a health emergency that could come up, which would come up. There's power emergency, which is just days away. There's plenty of things which the country just simply doesn't have. As I said, they should not have been here at all. It's a cabal of some people sitting probably in Islamabad who's decided that they can run and have their own ego satisfied with running this terrorism apparatus.
Islamabad and Rawalpindi, perhaps.
It is very costly for Pakistan, and it is going to be hugely costly for Pakistan in terms of any indicator. And as Major General was pointing out, I really would think that this is not this is a very difficult, dangerous situation for them under any circumstances.
Okay, Major General Bakshi, finally, considering the support India has received from almost all nations, including the West Asian nations, expressing solidarity with India's right to defend itself, is Pakistan going to find itself more and more isolated diplomatically, more than ever before, actually?
Pakistan has always had this issue of the rationality of irrationality. Just to give you an example, they have tried to convince their population that they did not lose 71 war. In their conception, again I will quote what Christine Fair says, they did not win the war, but not winning is not the same as losing. So they are absolutely irrational in the way they think. Despite whatever kind of countries are having support, not having support. In fact, about 30 years back, we would say the only thing mattering in Pakistan is Allah, Army, and America. Now, US and some of the other nations which you mentioned may have a little lesser say, and unexpectedly, it may be only China to whom they will actually listen.
China's role and reaction is again going to be assessed in the days ahead. For now, it has asked both the countries to exercise restraint. One would have to see how this escalation goes forward in the days ahead. Thank you very much, gentlemen, Major General Bipin Bakshi and Shubhamay Bhattacharjee, for giving us your insight on the developments so far. In the wake of Operation Sindoor, Pakistan attempted to escalate tensions by launching missile strikes on Indian installations. Every single one of those missiles was intercepted or neutralized. None reached its intended target. Like we are telling you, India's rapid coordinated response showcased the strength of its air defense ecosystem. This air defense system has been accelerated over the past 11 years under PM's Narendra Modi's leadership. So on the Indus Water Treaty now, the World Bank President Ajay Banga said, and I quote here, we have no role to play beyond a facilitator. There's a lot of speculation in the media about how the World Bank will step in and fix the problem, but it's all bunk. The World Bank's role is merely of a facilitator. So that's Indus Water Treaty's the World Bank reacting on the Indus Water Treaty. Now, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar held a phone call with UK Foreign Secretary. The discussions between the two leaders centered around countering terrorism, for which there must be zero tolerance. This is what Dr. S. Jaishankar wrote on his X handle. India's approach has earned it strong backing from the international community to counter terrorism after it launched Operation Sindoor. The countries, including the USA, UK, Israel, Saudi Arabia, Qatar and the UAE, have supported India's position. The European Union and all 27 member states issued a unified and strong statement. The US President Donald Trump expressed solidarity with India, affirming its sovereign right to combat terrorism while also urging restraint and a diplomatic path forward. UK Foreign Minister David Lammy said India had every reason to be outraged, while former Prime Minister Rishi Sunak asserted that no country should tolerate cross-border terrorism. Russia, while calling for restraint from both sides, made it clear that it condemns all forms of terrorism and is deeply concerned about the military escalation. Israel also stood firmly with India. Its ambassador remarked that terrorists have no sanctuary and supported India's right to defend itself. India launched Operation Sindoor after April 22nd terror attack in Pahalgam. The operation was precise, targeted only terror camps and avoided Pakistani military sites or civilians. India's actions in Operation Sindoor were not about revenge, but were about defense and keeping its citizens safe. Global leaders know that India did not strike first and it only responded to terror. So Operation Sindoor sending a strong message that India will not stay silent in the face of terrorism and will act when needed, but always with caution and care. The world's support shows that responsible nations understand and respect India's right to self-defense. Peace remains the goal, but peace cannot exist without security. In the interest of national security, Ministry of Defence has advised all media channels, digital platforms and individuals to refrain from live coverage or real-time reporting of defence operations and movement of security forces. Disclosure of such sensitive or source-based information may jeopardize operational effectiveness and endanger lives. Past incidents like the Kargil War, 26/11 attacks and the Kandahar hijacking incident underscore the risks of premature reporting. As per Clause 61P of the Cable Television Networks Amendment Rules 2021, only periodic briefings by designated officials are permitted during anti-terror operations. All stakeholders are urged to exercise vigilance, sensitivity and responsibility in coverage, upholding the highest standards in the service of the nation. India's Defence Ministry has announced that the government has empowered the Chief of the Army Staff to call out officers and the enrolled personnel of the Territorial Army for essential duties. The directive authorizes their deployment for essential guard duties or to be embodied in support of the regular army, reinforcing operational capabilities as required. Now, Delhi's Indira Gandhi International Airport has issued an advisory for passengers. In a social media post, the airport reports the normal operations but advised passengers that evolving airspace conditions may lead to some flight schedule and security processing time impacts. Passengers should follow airline advisories, adhere to baggage guidelines and expect longer security checks. They are urged to check flight status with their airlines or the Delhi airport website and rely only on official information. Airport authorities are working to ensure a smooth travel experience. Now, in response to the prevailing situation, Indian Railways has announced the operation of special trains from Jammu and Udhampur. Train number 04612 is scheduled to depart from Jammu. In fact, was scheduled to depart from Jammu at 10:45 a.m. Also, 20 Vande Bharat coaches will operate a special train departing from Udhampur at 12:45 p.m. travelling via Jammu and Pathankot. Indian Railways has also planned another fully reserved special train which will depart from Jammu at 7 p.m. And the 2025 edition of the Indian Premier League has been suspended indefinitely. The Board of Control for Cricket in India took the decision in the wake of the current security situation. New dates and venues are being reviewed and the remaining matches may be rescheduled soon, probably in August. So, IPL 2025 season being suspended amid the heightened tensions between India and Pakistan. And my colleague Abhishek Mahajan is joining me on the story. Abhishek, rightly so, IPL 2025 being suspended midway. What more can you tell us about the developments?
Absolutely, Tanvi. This is a huge step by the BCCI. IPL has been called off indefinitely. Remember, it has not been cancelled, so which effectively means that the remaining matches of the ongoing in fact, which was going on, IPL 16 matches had to be played. So those matches will be played later, maybe in the month of August. That's what we can tell from our sources. But yes, there's no confirmation yet from the BCCI that when the remaining matches of the IPL will be played. But the good news is that the players who were there playing at Dharamshala, the match yesterday, that was called off midway. In the 11th over itself, the match was being played between Punjab and Delhi Capitals. All the players, they have come back to Delhi, and now the biggest challenge, Tanvi, will be to send the players back to their respective countries. Major airports are still open, so still it will be a big challenge for the BCCI. But yes, the 16 matches were left, 12 league matches were left to be played in the tournament. And before also we have seen, Tanvi, that matches, Indian Premier League matches, they have moved to South Africa. Matches have been played in Dubai also because of the COVID situation, if you remember. And due to general elections, the IPL was moved to South Africa also. But yes, now the latest that we can tell you is that the match, the IPL 2025 edition, the 18th edition of the IPL has been suspended. It has not been cancelled, but yes, this is what we can tell you. Yesterday, Punjab and Delhi Capitals, they were playing, and initially it was told that there's some technical failure, but then afterwards, just as a precautionary measure, the match had to be suspended midway through. that Lucknow Super Giants were supposed to host Royal Challengers Bengaluru today. That had to be match 59 of the current edition. But now, as far as I can tell you, that nothing has been confirmed yet
about the new dates.
BCCI will put out the official statement. But yes, IPL has been
suspended for now.
And not been cancelled. Yes.
Okay, not been cancelled but suspended for now. Thank you very much, Abhishek Mahajan, for reporting on the story. Meanwhile, Jammu witnessed a complete blackout with locals reporting missile streaks in the night sky. A resident of Jammu expressed faith in Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership and armed forces of the country, confirmed that there was a complete blackout in the city, while another resident reported hearing of retaliatory firing which continued the entire night.
रात को जब 8 बजे तो ऊपर से हमने देखे ड्रोन 3-4 आ गए। उसके बाद जब फायरिंग हो गई तो हमने देखा तो कई बच्चे हमने आगे पीछे किए तो इधर तो बहुत फायरिंग चली रात को। ये सर पूरी रात ही चलती रही।
जब वहाँ से निकले तो एकदम से लाइट बंद हो गई, ब्लैकआउट हो गया सारा। तो उसके बाद ड्रोन वगैरह चढ़ना स्टार्ट हो गए, हमला वगैरह स्टार्ट हो गया। जैसे रास्ते में आए तो घर पे यहाँ भी सुना कि यहाँ भी हमले स्टार्ट हो गए और पूरी रात फायरिंग वगैरह चलती रही। सुबह तक यहाँ से जोर से गोलाबारी चलती रही। तो उसका हमारी जो डिफेंस है वो अच्छे से मुँह तोड़ जवाब दे रही है। तो हमें मोदी जी पे भी विश्वास है और अपनी डिफेंस पे भी विश्वास है।
Further, residents of Jaisalmer also expressed faith in the armed forces and confirmed that there was a complete blackout in the city.
कल रात को बहुत ही बड़े ड्रोन आए थे पाकिस्तान से, लेकिन हमारे यहाँ इंडिया के एयर डिफेंस सिस्टम ने किसी भी ड्रोन को यहाँ नीचे नहीं आने दिया, ऊपर ही सबको हवा में डिफ्यूज कर दिया। बहुत ही अच्छा लगा ये एयर डिफेंस देख के। इंडिया की ताकत पाकिस्तान से कई गुना ज़्यादा है और पाकिस्तान कभी भी भारत के आगे जीत नहीं सकता है।
हल्का सा रात को डर का माहौल और सुबह जैसे ही ये दिन की शुरुआत हुई है एकदम मतलब शांति का माहौल है। लोग घरों से बाहर आ रहे हैं और खुशी का माहौल है और चारों तरफ आप देख ही रहे। लड़ लेंगे, कोई दिक्कत वाली बात नहीं है। साथ हैं हम एयरफोर्स आर्मी और हम साथ है भारत देश के साथ में है। जो भी कार्य होगा देश के हित में होगा। लड़ लेंगे, कोई दिक्कत वाली बात नहीं है। साथ हैं हम एयरफोर्स आर्मी और हम साथ है भारत देश के साथ में है। जो भी कार्य होगा देश के हित में होगा।
So citizens expressing faith in the potential of our armed forces there in giving a befitting response to any escalation. Now, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting has launched India Fights propaganda campaign across social media platforms. So in order to support and amplify this campaign, all are requested to put this as their profile picture on their social media accounts, and also let's not fall prey to fake news and only rely on authentic information from official Government of India handles. That's all for this edition of DD India News Hour. Do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. Connect with us on our different social media handles at DD India Live, and you can also download our DD India mobile app. You can scan the QR code on the screen to download.